We are the Office Blokes. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
And we watch videos on the internet.
Yeah.
And we hope
Why
people
not?
watch us watch videos on the internet.
Yeah.
Sometimes people go on places like Patreon to watch us watch videos on the internet.
Do we have a Patreon?
I don't know, do we?
We do have a Patreon channel.
How would we find that, Michael?
Well, I think if you go to patreon.com and put Office Blokes React, you will find us right there. So, yeah, if you want to support the channel, it'd be absolutely amazing. Supporting us for just £1.50 per month. So, cheaper than chips.
Yeah, you can't even
That's
get
what
chips for that anymore.
No,
Or a coffee.
You can't. Or a
Or a coffee.
Cheaper than a cup of coffee.
Absolute bargains. Over 130 exclusive videos there that aren't on YouTube.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Right, Mr. Ballen is someone we used to react to a little bit.
Yeah.
We never did loads, did we? I think
No.
we did maybe
One
3 or
two.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Very interesting. A good storyteller.
He really
He
is,
is.
isn't he? So we thought we'd throw in another one. Top 3 signs of alien life.
What would your first sign be of alien life? Some guy coming to your door and going, "Boo."
That's crazy.
Crazy
person.
alien. Yeah.
Starting to see more of these videos of like flying objects and stuff that
I'm
are
not buying that.
but some of them are coming from actual military pilots and things like that. And I think even the Pentagon released a few that were.
I know, but how bizarre is it that an alien aircraft looks like we would draw them when we were kids?
Yeah,
How bizarre is that?
Yeah.
That they don't look like an iron bar. It looks like a flying
I think you'll also
saucer.
I mean, I'm so cynical and stuff like that anyway. So, but I think you'll find as well, like the military put stuff out sometimes to mask the fact that they're doing something else or testing
that's
something.
a shocking allegation.
I know it's amazing.
I
It's
think
unbelievable. I know.
With
But
the James Webb Telescope going so far deep into space and sending reports back, and so far we've come across nothing, and he's travelled about 1 billion light years or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Not out there.
I think
Too far.
Yeah.
I definitely think there's aliens out there somewhere. There's got to be, but I don't think they're visiting us.
Why are they coming down? Why aren't they coming down as fish?
Maybe they are. Maybe that's
Yeah.
where fish came from.
Yeah.
Like just because no one saw it doesn't mean that's the
Right.
thing. I think all the stuff, the UFOs and stuff people see are probably just military technology though. Realistically, like some sort of form of advanced drone with no pilot.
yeah,
That's more what I think about that sort of stuff. There's got to be aliens out there in the whole universe somewhere.
there's got to be other living matter
Yeah,
somewhere because there's too many suns and planets and stuff like that for there not to be. The
Yeah.
law of averages. It'd be
Law
just
of
incredible. Well, it's just like billions of suns, isn't there? So out there, there's got to be another place where as life as we know it could exist.
absolutely.
Without a doubt.
I
But
think so.
I just don't think.
Don't think they're visiting us.
No, I don't.
Too far.
The distances are just too far from the technology that we've got and we know, and the speed of light. It's just mind blowing that anyone could actually reach us from even the nearest star.
Unless it's like a beam me up type thing.
Yeah, but
Or you
that's
could
all. That's all just made up, and just it's all theory and just it's just say can get like a transport or something and transport through time. It's not happening.
How do you do it?
Exactly.
No, how do you do it?
All right.
Mike's a vampire.
Right, how
so
do you do it? How do you do it?
time is the blink of an eye for Mike because he's a vampire.
Yeah.
It's been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So,
I'd like to think so.
Anyway, let's see what Mr. Ballen's got to say about it. Top 3 signs of alien life.
The Pentagon just quietly confirmed the 2 leaked videos from 2017 that showed these strange objects whipping around our atmosphere are totally authentic, and to this day, they have no idea what they are. Before I get into today's list, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right channel because that's all we do, and we upload 3, 4, even 5 times every week. So if that's of interest to you, please order 8 large pizzas to the Like Button's house and tell the store you'll pay cash at the front door. Also, please subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. All right, let's get into today's stories. One night in the summer of 1977, a large radio telescope in Ohio intercepted a very unique signal. The telescope was searching the sky on behalf of an organization called SETI, which is the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, and the signal, although it only lasted 72 seconds, fit the profile of a message beamed to us from another world. Jerry Amon, who was a project scientist for SETI, was flipping through some of the computer printouts generated by the telescope when he noticed a series of letters. Now, the way this particular radio telescope worked is it pretty much constantly picked up a signal, but that signal was a very low background hum of static. And that was represented in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All those low numbers are representative of that basic background sound that they just write off. It doesn't matter. Occasionally, the telescope would pick up a higher number on the readout, like a 7, an 8, a 9, and even above that, it transitions to letters to represent louder radio signals. But all of those higher signals had a rational explanation. Either they were anomalous or they were tied to something very natural and ordinary. But that particular night in 1977, as the telescope swept across the sky, it picked up a signal that was so strong it surged past 0 through 9 and made its way into the letters all the way up to letter U, and it held it for 72 seconds, representing a signal that was 30 times stronger than what this telescope normally picks up as its baseline. And after those 72 seconds, the telescope eventually passed it, and that signal dropped all the way back down. So when Amon saw this amazing string of letters representing this radio signal, he circled it in red ink and wrote next to it, "Wow!" exclamation point, and from that point forward, this transmission became the WOW signal. One of the main reasons the WOW signal was not immediately cast out as some anomaly or chalked up to some other natural occurrence is because of what we understand about radio wave transmission. The goal of this radio telescope was to try to pick up radio signals coming in from other worlds. And so the way they did that is they opened up a whole bunch of different channels, receivers, they had 50 of them, and anytime they were aiming their dish in a direction of the sky, if there was any radio waves coming towards them, they tried to capture them on different radio frequencies. If you were aiming your antenna in a direction where natural radio waves were coming towards you, it would hit one channel and then diffuse over adjacent channels because it's not a targeted radio wave. It's natural. It's more like a shotgun blast. Non-natural radio waves, like the ones we're familiar with when we listen to the radio, listen to music, those are targeted radio waves, meaning when they were sent out in a very narrow band. They were sent out on a single frequency, and only people that have turned to that particular frequency or that particular receiver are going to hear your message. That is a non-natural radio wave. The night that the WOW signal was picked up, it was only picked up on one channel. It did not diffuse over the others, meaning the WOW signal is not natural and was created by someone or something. And for the SETI researchers that are literally combing the sky for signs of extraterrestrial life, this is exactly what they were looking for. It is what an intelligent life form would do to try to communicate. They would use one radio frequency to demonstrate this is intentional. But despite decades of professional and amateur astronomers searching the sky for this WOW signal, it's never been found again. While there's many theories about what could have caused the WOW signal, obviously ranging from extraterrestrial life to a comet that passed by in 1977 that we only recently knew about, to a secret spy satellite, the bottom line is, to this day, we cannot adequately explain it. It remains the best evidence of alien communication ever obtained.
Someone riding a comet going, "Wow!"
I think it's the Russians that got something working and went, "Ow."
Turn it off.
Yeah, I'm not clever enough to either debunk or confirm that sort of thing. I don't know the variables involved in all that sort of stuff.
But going off
Going
off our intelligence, that'd be the type of thing I would expect for them to pick up first, like a radio signal, which, because that's exactly what we've done. We've sent radio signals out into outer space, which would, again, is mind blowing, but they travel for just forever, don't they?
Yeah.
Even when speed of light, it blows my mind. You know, where you see stars now, it's like the light that was formed like millions of years ago, and which just getting here, that just blows my mind as well.
Yeah, but I'm still thinking that the information we're receiving back from the James Webb Telescope, is it James Webb?
I think so.
So it's just so. What's the word? There's nothing to report back apart from new stars and new Milky Ways and new planets and new orbits and whatever it is, fucking all kinds of space shit that keeps coming back.
I think if you think about how vast space is, though,
I know
and
that.
Like any life form wouldn't even be a millionth of a pixel.
I know, but we travelled that far with this telescope that we've not got anything reported back that could be anything to
Nothing
identify
tangible.
against.
Yeah, get that.
As yet. And how come we've never heard another one of them since 1977? Why didn't you go, whoa, 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 fuck it, go back a bit. Get that telescope back to that, what's it a bit? Just let me listen to that again.
That's what I don't...
Yep.
That's what I don't understand, is that they picked it up and
then carried on.
Yeah, I
maybe
don't
it wasn't
get that bit.
automated like it would be nowadays. Maybe it's just going like that and just recording, and then someone's gone, "Whoa, what was that?" And then by the time they've figured it out,
Yeah, but
like,
that's 1977.
yeah,
Right? It's almost 50 years ago. So now what you've got now, in that 50 years, we haven't found that signal again.
Yeah,
With more advanced...
yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know, does
Equipment.
that signal last forever as well? So can you go back and find it again, or is it sort of like a moment in time where it's picked up?
It's probably
and
a
then
moment in time, isn't it?
That's what I'm not sure about on that one.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Could have been sent out 2 million years ago from a planet on the other
Right.
side, and
Yeah.
It's
and
gone
it's
here.
just gone. Just coincidentally, we've caught
That's it, and then
that's it
then
forever.
go past, and then you can't.
But you would only send one out. That's it. Fuck it. We're only doing one. If you can't find anything,
Well,
fuck
if-
it.
I get what you
Bin it
mean,
off.
yeah.
What's that thing about
They'd be
those?
spraying them out everywhere, wouldn't they?
If you aim for the moon and you're off axis by like a degree or something, you miss it by thousands of miles. Is that the thing? There's something like that. And if you think about a planet sending off signals everywhere, once they've gone millions of miles, they're going to be so far apart.
Yeah,
But they're going to be sending millions off a time, aren't they? Like, boom, just keep
Well, it depends
sending
where
them.
they're sending to, because we sent that telescope off, say, that way. Somebody.
And that way's loads of people.
They might, exactly, yeah. Going the wrong way.
Fucking hell, Dave, you're sending the wrong way, you dickhead. Look at all them over there. Hey? What are you thinking?
No, you know what I mean? No.
But there might be a flaw in your logic there.
Does it not go like that?
Doesn't the Earth rotate as well? So
Yeah, you know what I mean? No.
I know the Earth's flat.
Flat,
actually.
you daft
It's
git.
under us.
Everyone knows
Aliens
that.
are
Everyone
under
lives
us.
underneath. In the sea.
No, but that telescope's
Fish,
still
that's
going
what I was right.
It's still going in one direction, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's still going sort of whatever.
West or east?
I don't know.
That's what you mean, though, innit? It could
Yeah.
be going west when it could be going east.
Yeah.
But is the universe round? We don't know that yet, do we?
No. We'll
It's
never know.
just mind blowing. I can't cope.
UFO footage.
There is a taboo that is held in the scientific and academic communities, as well as in government, news media, and all modern institutions. And that taboo is on taking UFOs seriously. As a result of this societal conditioning, many people simply don't believe in UFOs. And those same people will view others that do believe in UFOs or who are open-minded to it as the crazy people, when in reality, UFOs are blatantly real. I mean, blatantly so. And they've been whipping around Earth for some time. But because of that taboo, scientists and politicians, they don't want to do the research to figure out why they're here because it's career suicide. And what's worse is there's all sorts of programs, like I'm going to tell you about in a minute, that are designed to keep people conditioned to believe that everything is ponies and rainbows, and there's no aliens, there's no UFOs, there's no anything but Earth. In 1952, a CIA group called the Psychological Strategy Board concluded that the people in the United States are prone to mass hysteria when it comes to UFOs, and that we should be actively debunking any organization or person or group that is trying to get to the bottom of UFOs or other unexplained phenomena. It seems like the reasoning behind this was to protect the public from themselves. They did not want the public to discover something as momentous as the discovery of a UFO that is connected to extraterrestrials or some other unexplained phenomenon. They didn't want the public to discover that. They wanted the government to make that discovery so it could be controlled, the narrative could be controlled, and they could protect the public from falling into mass hysteria. Now, while we don't know if the government actually listened to this recommendation and began aggressively censoring any group or organization that was trying to get answers about UFOs, what we do know is that the government at the same time was investing real money to do their own research about UFOs. In December of 2017, the Pentagon had to come out and confirm the existence of a particular program called the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program after 2 of their videos had been leaked. This highly classified, highly controversial government-funded program investigated UFOs. The 2 leaked videos were filmed by American service members, pilots, when they saw these objects that were flying around Earth that were demonstrating what this program described as advanced physics, which is basically things humans haven't figured out how to do yet. The objects were able to accelerate with g-forces that were too much for the human body to withstand. They could reach hypersonic speeds with no sonic boom and no heat.
That's what I'm on about. What it looks like.
That's not the actual footage.
I know.
I thought I'd debunk that myth for you straight away.
Was it going on about like UFOs in like the late 1800s, early 1900s, things like that?
You tell us, you were there.
I think, because I think a lot of this took off after like the 40s and 50s with the space race, getting to space, landed on the moon. Then there's so many films and stories and things about aliens and stuff. It went absolutely massive. Did they have these things in like 1920s? Before the sort of space race started.
William Shakespeare doesn't write about it, does he? Is that what you're saying?
There's allegedly carvings.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be carvings on the pyramids and stuff that allude to things like that, isn't there?
Is there?
Allegedly, yeah. Everything I say is allegedly.
I've never been to the pyramids, so
neither have I. They might not even exist.
Yeah. No, my thing behind this is, shouldn't it be a global effort?
Yeah.
If we're going to look at something as for extraterrestrial, it should be a global effort.
Yeah.
And why does everything always land in New Mexico? Right?
Where there's loads of space and minimal people.
Yeah. How come it doesn't land?
Testing facilities.
They come into Earth and we go, where's Roswell? Then I'll get the sat nav out and go, yeah, we got to go Roswell. That's what everyone's saying.
Yeah, that's where Jeff crashed in the 50s.
Yeah. So,
you're looking for him.
Can we land in, Fiji?
Yeah.
Allegedly, there's a guy. Like, I'm saying that before every sentence now. There's a guy that was on Rogan that I think we've talked about him before, that was supposedly brought in to Area 51 to check out, to try and back engineer a spacecraft that they'd found, or some sort of flying object. And one thing he said is they had similar objects in Russia and other places, but it's just not been as well publicised as Area 51 and all that sort of stuff. Other countries like Russia do have encounters.
But has he seen these?
He's seen the American ones, not the Russian ones.
But not seen the Russian ones?
All allegedly, because a lot of people think he's chatting pants. A lot of people believe him. I don't particularly know.
But if someone says to me, hey, listen, this is what we've got in Russia, in 4 or 5 places in Russia, because Russia's vast, it stretches across 11 time zones, right? You can go, right, we've got something in Vladivostok, we've got something in St. Petersburg, we've got something in Moscow. This is what we found. They're identical to the one you've got in Roswell, New Mexico. Yeah. So, in that coincidence, let's put them together and let's fucking discuss what's going on here.
I think, like you said, Mike, with the space race, though, if suddenly it is like Russia and America where objects are being found, the two countries that were competing to get to the moon first, and they both had, Nazi scientists found their space programs and things like that. Yeah, it makes sense that if it's being faked or if it is future technologies that humans have come up with, that it'd be made in Russia and it'd be made in America. That's where the sightings had been, the testing and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
I mean, if someone says to me, I believe in UFOs, I'm like, go for it.
Oh, same.
Let me know what you've got.
I can see UFOs, we're talking like, we mean alien spacecraft, don't we? Yeah. I know there's UFOs, unidentified flying objects. I know there's objects that they don't know what they are. Yeah. I get that, but I just don't think they're alien spacecraft. That's what I don't think.
I agree with you.
I think I agree with you as well. I 90% agree with you.
Just going off, take it as a round with all the science programs I've watched and all the information I've gathered, I just think the distances are just so vast.
In your years of extensive research on the topic.
Absolutely, mate. Honestly.
Do you know where the next UFO sighting will be of alien life?
Simply.
Nope.
Not sure.
Portland.
No one would notice.
Hey, man.
Heat trail. They also seemed to resist Earth's gravitational pull, despite not looking particularly aerodynamic enough to have lift or thrust. Metamaterials that came from these UFOs were made up of materials that you can't find naturally on Earth and would be extremely expensive to replicate. According to a Pentagon briefing this group gave in 2009 about all of their research into UFOs, they concluded that the United States would not be able to protect itself against some of the technology they had discovered. And these two videos that we're seeing are only the ones that were leaked. And in April of 2020, the Pentagon came out and officially confirmed those two leaked videos from 2017 were authentic, and to this day, the crafts or objects that were spotted in those videos are still listed as unidentified. They wouldn't say that unless they made sure it was not just another military craft or some other conventional explanation, meaning, really, we don't know what these things are. Here are the two video clips.
Roger. There's troubleshooting as soon as I get. Did you box moving target? No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at him, man. Look at him fly. Dude, this is going on, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
Fucking scratch the window light and get it off.
There's a fly on it.
Fly in the window.
See, the technology these pilots have got, and I've listened to one of these pilots talk about these videos as well, and you think it is kind of, there's something there. I don't know what it is, but it's not just a camera pointing at it. There's loads of other things looking at it at the time. And apparently there was some of their equipment, there was some sort of jamming, you know, so it was not allowing them to get some sort of lock on it.
Right.
Which, if that was a Russian thing, for example, that'd be an act of war. So, you know, there's more to it. That's compelling when you hear pilots and military people talk about stuff. More so than like someone who just drinks moonshine all day and gets probed on the way home from the pub.
Listen, there's going to be, you know, people who are for and against and all this kind of stuff. And it's, if someone starts talking to me about UFOs, I want to see hard evidence.
Oh yeah,
same.
You know, I want to see something. Tell me what you got. Don't just assume and fucking come up with a story, because anyone can do that. I can tell you that I've been to the moon and fucking make up a story, and people will believe it or they won't believe it.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about UFOs like this, I want to see a physical craft that's been captured.
Yeah.
And people, where you're from, being interviewed in grey suits.
Yeah.
You know, in Russia.
I mean, again, they have got technology, but again, it's just like a black speck in it sort of thing. It's not like clear as to exactly what it is. I'm sure things like this, I mean, they pick up anywhere. I mean, on rate. I mean, they've got like defences all over the world, don't they? The US, you know, over their country. If there's a missile coming in,
that could be a missile.
If there's a missile coming in, they know about it. They'd pick it up on radar and all sorts, wouldn't they? And they'd scramble jets to go and get it. And
but I think these jets were scrambled to go and investigate something that was
shoot it down. Then
I don't. Yeah.
Well, they did with the balloons, didn't they? So why don't
shoot it down and let's have a chat about it.
Apparently, these things like stopped in midair and changed direction and started going. Like that's how they knew they weren't missiles, because there was just weird things that they were doing that missiles can't.
Like a drone sort of thing does.
Potentially, it could be a drone. It could be some sort of drone.
Cynical about it. You just think, I mean, the pilot's in on this. It's just part of the cover story for doing, you know, like saying to Russia, maybe, you know, listen, this is what we've seen. You know, we're going to advance our technology because of things like this, and this is the reasons why we're doing it.
It could be posturing. It could be a subtle way of saying to other countries, we've got this technology, but we don't have the technology.
You know, we want different sort of like, because we're going to get like lasers from outer space and stuff.
Lasers.
You know, is it going to be a way of saying, well, to justify the US sort of like upgrading their military hardware and things like that? Say, well, this is what we're up against. You know,
you could be right there.
Call me Mr. Cynical, but you know,
Mr.
it's interesting. There you go.
That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is an LNS, dude. Well, if there's like, look at that thing. It's rotating.
It's definitely interesting, that one.
Yeah, just 30 years ago, we had not discovered a single planet outside of our solar system. Today, we've discovered over 4,500 of them, and of all those planets we're discovering, 1 in 5 of them, scientists now say, are most likely habitable. There's really 2 criteria for a planet to be considered habitable. 1, it needs to be rocky, and 2, it needs to fall into the Goldilocks zone, where it's in its star's orbit in a place where it's neither too hot or too cold, allowing water to be in liquid form. One of the best chances we have so far at finding life on another one of these habitable planets is a planet called Ross 128b. It orbits an inactive red dwarf star, meaning it's likely not being bludgeoned by solar radiation, and we've detected strange signals emanating from the nearby host star, signals that perhaps have intelligent origins. Another habitable planet is Proxima b. It also happens to be the closest habitable planet to Earth, and is a lot like Ross 128b. However, the red dwarf it revolves around is much more temperamental and periodically casts out massive amounts of radiation that does make life quite difficult. It's also tidally locked and in synchronous rotation with its star, meaning one side of the planet is always facing the star and getting completely torched all the time. The other side, the dark side of the planet, never faces the star, and so everything is frozen. And so the only place liquid water could exist on Proxima b would be at the equator. Another area of the universe that scientists are focused focus on to try to see if there's life there right now, or could be life, is an area called the TRAPPIST-1 system. It's actually 7 different planets, all of which are considered habitable, that are orbiting around this one particular red dwarf. The really cool thing about this particular system is that the 7 planets are super close together. So close that if you were standing on one, you could look up and see all of the others. And you're so close, you could actually make out geologic formations like mountains, and you could see clouds, and in theory, you could actually travel between the different planets. So imagine going on vacation to another planet.
Yeah.
Wow. That'd be amazing, that, wouldn't it?
If you had
would you ever get fed up of looking at that in the sky? You wouldn't, would you?
No.
Could you imagine the gravitational pull on that? Having planets so close.
That's what she said.
Look, Mike, I can see Uranus.
You think about a civilization advancing like ours, but being able to see that, and from early on just looking at it going, one day we're going to go there.
Yeah.
And you think that civilization might advance.
Do you speak English?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course they do. But just the idea that we've got a moon that's far away and eventually people went there. If you had that, and it's like that's bigger than our planet and it looks like it's just there, people would be dying to get there. So you think planet hopping could become a thing?
They'd probably build a bridge.
Yeah. A moon bridge.
Walk or drive. Moon bridge, yeah.
But to really get you thinking, a new study just released its results this month in October 2020. They looked at all 4,500 plus planets that are outside the solar system, and they ranked them according to how likely they are to sustain life. Not whether they're currently sustaining life, but looking at their conditions of how good of a planet are they to sustain life. And out of the 4,500, there were 24 at the top of the list that not only can sustain life, but actually can sustain life better than Earth can. They are considered super habitable, and they are literally better places to live than Earth is, which is definitely a foreign
Not hard to beat at the moment.
Less potholes.
Concept for most people, because they think of Earth as like this oasis in this vast universe where everything lined up perfectly to sustain human life. And already, just out of the 4,500 planets that were reviewed, that have only been discovered in the past 30 years, right? There's lots more planets out there. We've already found 24 that are better than Earth at sustaining life. So what happens when we discover there are millions, if not billions of planets out there? Just probability alone says there's going to be a heck of a lot more planets out there that are better at sustaining life than Earth, which really forces you to come to terms with the reality that almost certainly we are not alone. So that's going to do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and I will pin the best comment at the top of the comments section.
I like Mr. Ballen.
Yeah,
It's great, isn't it?
He's just a top storyteller.
I do agree with that. I mean, I think there is life out there. Where I think there's too many planets and that are habitable for them not to be. So,
you know, when you said you thought donut operator was a Navy SEAL,
Yeah.
I think it's Mr. Ballen that was
I think
the
he
Navy
was,
SEAL.
yeah. I think he's disabled, isn't he?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to judge.
I think someone told me he may be wheelchair bound.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Don't know if that's true, but I think someone did mention it to me once before.
Right.
But I also think donut operator was a SEAL, but I think he was also.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it just came to me then when I was, just staring at him for ages.
Yeah.
I like that last one about those planets. I'm surprised Elon Musk isn't thinking
It's the image.
invest in some sort of cryostasis so you can freeze humans and fire them off to that planet.
Fire them off.
Well, again,
Yeah.
it'd take that long to get there.
But that's where you need the sort of cryostasis, like in the Alien movies and stuff.
Yeah.
You need pods where you're frozen and it's all solar
You get there, you
powered.
land, and you're surrounded by dinosaurs.
It'd be awesome.
Or
It
you
could
land
be
in
like that. Could be in the early stages again.
you land in Gary, Indiana. Which is a paradise of fit women, swimming pools, luxury cars.
What if you get there and it's the literal
casinos, legalized weed? Hang on, I'm not finished. Cocaine available, ready in stores.
Painting a picture here.
Yeah, that's what's on them planets.
Imagine if it was actually the Garden of Eden, though, and it's just Adam and Eve there, and you just land there as a spaceman and just ruin the whole.
Oh, do you know? I swear to God, I'd love that. Do you know what I'd say? And I'd rock up and they'd be like, "Who are you?" And I'd be like, "Roddy Pickering." Who are you? Who are you?
I'd be like that Adam over there. He said you look fat, so should we go and get a drink?
Don't eat that apple. We've got something better than the apple you can chew on.
What? There we go.
I had an orange.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, it's good that though.
It was.
It's always very. It's a good thing to debate, especially when you've had a few beers.
Yeah,
it's one of them you start talking.
It's a great debate. It really is.
Because everyone becomes a scientist, then, don't they?
Absolutely. Well, it's like the pandemic all over again, where everyone was suddenly a scientist.
Yeah.
You know,
a doctor.
Yeah. Some people spouting studies that they half read that they didn't read. They just heard Russell Brand talk about. That was bro science.
Yeah, I just get through life, me, as I am.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Nast. If an alien comes down tomorrow, I'm like, nast, mate. No interest.
Yeah, let's crack on.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I think it'd be cool on the news for about 8 minutes, and then I'd be like, right, enough now.
Yeah, then suddenly it's like that alien's not entitled to welfare. He needs to go and get a job.
Oh yeah, he'll have to, definitely. Yeah.
Novelty wears off all of a sudden.
That's right.
Like driving an Uber.
Housing him and his family in a hotel somewhere, getting handouts.
Yeah. What do you pay me though? Do you pay me like pounds sterling or US dollars or blip blops?
Blops, yeah.
You're gonna get 50 blip blops a week, mate, and a loaf of bread. What did he call me?
Nice.
Taking our women, our jobs.
Yeah, they took our jobs.
Right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.